Nintendo News Daily. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Of course, this is a part of the Nintendo Powercast, so just want to make sure you guys are aware. You're aware, and we're doing this. Well, of course, daily, three o'clock. You guys, 3 p.m. Eastern, and I'm actually kind of on time today. Kind of on time, so don't be too shocked. Don't be too shocked. Gameplay wise, we are going to be taking a look at Super Mario RPG, the remake that came out a while ago on the Switch. That'll be our gameplay for today. And you guys, I have been receiving a crazy amount of comments on Spotify, on YouTube here. Just it's been really great interacting with you guys through the comments. So keep them coming if you've got thoughts and ideas. The great thing is, I'm chatting with people that we don't agree. We do not agree. I mentioned yesterday that I love seeing, the possibility for mobile games to Nintendo's mobile games to unlock things in games. And some of the comments I got back were like, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. And I mean, that's great. That's great. I'm totally for it. So if you disagree on some of this stuff, do not hesitate to voice your opinion. And just love hearing from you guys. So I see we got a handful of people here. Joey says, just call me hide and seek king at work. Nady Nay is here. There's a few other people hanging out. Let's play the intro and get to the news. All right. Well, taking a look at the news here, I'm so curious, obviously, on how the intro. You guys have to let me know in chat if it did me dirty again today, because yesterday, after I looked at the footage, it did. I have to cut it out every time. So, love that for me. Love that for me. But let's jump into the news here. Nintendo veteran believes company has something up their sleeves with Switch 2. So it says former Nintendo veteran Takia Imura, I think I said that right, has spoken to Games Radar about his thoughts on Nintendo Switch 2 and says he believes that the Kyoto-based company still has something up their sleeves when it comes to the upcoming device. While the Nintendo Switch 2 was revealed in a teaser trailer, we've yet to get the full details on the device and its lineup of video games. The Switch has had this is a quote, the Switch has had a really long lifespan and it sold really well, which must mean that this is something that is a global success, he says. It's got supporters all around the world, and I was thinking it would be difficult to really change that. But having said that, I think they've still got something up their sleeves. Well, Chad, I'm going to turn to you guys, whether you're here live or listening after the fact. What do you think? What do you think Nintendo has up their sleeves? I've had this same gut feeling for a really long time that maybe they've teased this mouse functionality, but I believe there's a greater purpose here. I believe there's something more to this mouse functionality that's going to kind of blow our minds, right? Like surface level, playing some of these games, like playing Animal Crossing with a mouse makes sense. It would work. Playing Mario Maker 3 makes sense. It would work. So on and so forth. But why? What do they got up their sleeves? What are they planning on showing us? What's the big new feature, and what's special about it? And I think we're going to be in for quite the treat when they finally reveal. As not well received as it was, 1-2 Switch still sold pretty well. But the HD Rumble in 1-2 Switch, where you could, they teased that you could feel ice cubes in your cup, right? Remember that? But you could feel marbles. And I remember showing my grandmother this. I was like, hey, how many marbles? And she's trying to count like how many marbles were rolling around inside the Joy-Con. Like that was pretty cool. It was very cool. I don't feel like they really explored that much right outside of that one instance, I don't feel like we really got to take full advantage of it. So what are we going to see when it comes to Switch 2? Because if we are playing games like that, is there an opportunity for HD Rumble to become more relevant? Potentially. So I am curious. I'm very curious. Nate says table hockey. There we go. That's something we can play with the mice. He also says Switch actually doubled as a frisbee. Hey, if we're playing Nintendogs, let's keep the realism going, right? Like if Nintendogs, if they get DS and 3DS games, let's rock and roll that thing. Joey Pitt says they want to sell mouse pads for multiple Nintendo characters. Yeah, definitely that. And you guys know the mouse pads that have like the extra, like the padding on them? Like I'm already foreseeing like Wario's nose, right? Just being some of that extra padding. Joey Pitt says, will they sell keyboard to work with the Switch and the mouse? I think so. I feel like that's kind of the direction they're going. And this isn't something completely new to Nintendo. Think back to the GameCube where you had the GameCube controller with the keyboard between the grips, which was so strange. But here we go. Nate says they're going to sell CD attachments for the top USB port so that you can play Wii and GameCube games. Wow. Just wow. But no, I mean, it is like obviously the mouse functionality kind of crazy. I'm gonna even take a look at a few of the comments here on the post from My Nintendo News. It says, well, we know for a fact that they have something up their sleeves, namely the mouse con, and we also know that there's the C button unlabeled in the official reveal, which we do not yet know the function for. We will also certainly find out about these in the April 2nd Direct. So that C button, you know, I'm seeing a lot of discussion around that C button. Does it stand for community? Does it stand for cast? Does it, you know, I think based on recent patents, and learning about, and it might have been even some of the leaked documents from the shipping manifest and whatnot. I believe the cast feature has kind of gone to the wayside. Like I'm from what one of the videos I was watching, they went into detail on it, talking about how it's not really feasible based on what we're seeing from the just from the chipset and the power and all that kind of stuff. It's probably not very likely. So I'm curious though, very, very curious. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to see what is up their sleeve, what we can expect here. And ultimately, like if you think back, okay, the Wii, especially with the Wii, the pack-in game was something that everybody played. Everybody played Wii Sports. It didn't matter your age. You played Wii Sports. It was one of those things that like people would buy the Wii and not buy other games because they had Wii Sports. That's what I want to see again. That's what I want to see. I want to see the kind of game that like brings just so many people in, that everybody wants to play. Like hopefully it is a pack-in. Maybe they do another pack-in. I know the Switch didn't have a pack-in game, but maybe this time around there, you know, we'll get something, or maybe they have a handful of like smaller titles or something along those lines, just to kind of showcase what this system is going to be capable of and what all these new features are. Wii Sports was special, honestly. Like it was nothing like graphically, nothing that spectacular, but it was still a lot of fun. Like a lot of fun. Played that for hours. Like you see it in sitcoms, you see it like everybody played the Wii. Remember Wii remotes going through TVs and all the like Wii was a special time, right? And don't get me wrong, go back to the NES, Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt. That was a lot of fun. The Power Pad was eventually one of the sets that they did, so you could do Track and Field, Duck Hunt, and Super Mario Brothers, like all on one cart. Fantastic. Super Nintendo, of course, Super Mario World, amazing. And then they slowly started going away from the pack-in games. Well, maybe it's time for that to come back. Maybe that's one of the things up their sleeve, because I want, thinking about like the Miiverse, or if you guys, I didn't experience it much, but my kids played a ton of, I think it was called Flip Notes. They loved that on their DS. And then when it came to 3DS, it wasn't quite as good, and it wasn't really monitored very well. Like, it was one of those things that was like, there's probably stuff on here that shouldn't be there, but there was this community of creators that were making these little like animations and all this kind of stuff, and I know my kids loved it. I know I've heard other people speak very fondly of it. I want more like that. I want something like that from Nintendo. So I see we got a bunch more people jumping in. Drawing Ports, what's going on? Joey says, I remember my aunt getting a laptop just to play solitaire in the kitchen. There you go. Drawing Ports says, unfortunately, it seems like we won't be getting a February Direct, despite us really wanting one. Well, that's gonna be our closing topic of the day. We're gonna be jumping into that. So, continuing on, kind of on the same page here as speaking of kind of about the Direct. Nate the Hate reiterates that Kirby Planet Robobot is heading to Nintendo Switch. He put out a tweet replying to somebody here on X. It says, so ignoring if a February Direct is coming or not, Kirby port is coming nonetheless, huh? I think it's mentioned in a podcast. And then Nate responded, correct. Planet Robobot will find its way to Switch. So we're going to dig more into that and what we think is going to happen near the end. Nate bringing up the C button. He says, I think it's for community, or I don't think the C button is for community. I don't think C being for community is universal enough. Yeah, that's true. That maybe that's a good point. Like, that's unless different regions have a different button, but that wouldn't really make sense. So I don't know. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. But it is one of those things that we're all kind of wondering. So, do I think we're going to get a Direct? Well, you just have to wait and see. We're going to talk about it, Pokemon fan. We are going to talk about it. But before we do, we're going to continue on here. People have been asking, producers from Monster Hunter Wilds, will there be a Switch 2 port? Here's what the headline reads. Nope. Monster Hunter Wilds producer still won't spill the beans on a Switch 2 port. Keep hunting for answers. So here's the quote. It says, of course, with relation to platforms for Monster Hunter Wilds, we have nothing extra to announce beyond what's already out there. But we're also kind of in the same position everyone else is with the Switch 2. It's such a brand new announcement, and we would need to take time over the coming future to learn exactly what the nature of the hardware and how we'll be using it its best. And that's something that is going to be in the future for us. Again, PR speak, right? Like, maybe they really have, their relationship is so good with Nintendo for them not to have something seems so crazy to me. It just seems so crazy to me that they wouldn't have something in the, like, Nintendo has been the home of Monster Hunter outside of what Monster Hunter Worlds, right? Now, maybe Worlds and Wilds, maybe those are like meant to be like the console, like PlayStation, Xbox, PC. Maybe that's kind of their, like, they're not really saying it, but that's kind of that's this line of Monster Hunter, if you will. And then, something along the lines of like Rise with Sunbreak and all that was more like the Switch line, but that also came to Xbox and I believe PlayStation 5 eventually as well. So I don't know. It seems strange that as close of a relationship as Capcom has with Nintendo, that there wouldn't be something going on behind the scenes. So this very much could just be PR speak and him literally trying to throw everybody off the scent. That's very much a possibility. So I see Miguel is here hanging out. What is going on? I see, yeah, chat is moving right now. Chat is definitely moving. So um so much going on, but we'll keep on going with the news here. I played Wilds. I know talking with some people in Discord and stuff, they weren't super happy with the way it was running. I know PlayStation Network being down during the beta was kind of it was a little rough for people. They did give an extra 24 hours on that, which was cool. But I love Monster Hunter. Like, I love it. It's a game that's gonna be a little tough for me to go back to, but I love the series. I think it's a fantastic series and really hope that Wilds makes its way to the Switch. And again, my thought with everything going forward, and even in some of the comments that I'm seeing, like I had somebody leave a very long comment talking about like how they believe GTA 6 is going to be on Switch, because essentially if it's running on Xbox Series S, it will probably be running on the Switch too. That's kind of my my thought, honestly, is that if it can run on Series S, it will run on Switch too. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I really do hope that Wilds makes its way to Switch too, because the little bit that I played, albeit a little clunky, was still pretty amazing. Pretty amazing stuff. We got a leak. We got a Lego leak, not a Switch 2 leak, a Lego leak. And it says massive. And apparently massive is like, I don't know if we're not supposed to say massive anymore or what, but every now and again I get comments about the word massive. So the title reads from Nintendo Life: massive Mario Kart Lego set rumor surfaces online, and it could be a big year for Nintendo's Racer. So behind me here, if you guys are watching, it's a little bit tough to see, but that is that's Mario's main cart, the Lego cart I picked up a couple weeks ago, and just wanted to have it displayed here. And it's with they're with their toy sets, which I'm not a huge fan of. This may be what I have been wanting for quite some time. So it says Nintendo Lego leaks have been quite accurate in the past, with perhaps the biggest one, the biggest one of the lot so far being the Legend of Zelda Deku Tree set. Now, new rumors have surfaced online about another massive Nintendo themed set. According to multiple reports, the next major Nintendo set could be Mario Kart 1, valued at $169.99 and launched in July of 2025. This is according to Brick Fanatics. Multiple Lego leakers have apparently shared evidence of listings for this new set, including the product code 72037. This set, which could potentially be an upscaled cart, would supposedly take up a slot in Lego's adult line. Okay, you've got my attention. Lego Icons, adult line Lego Icons. Lego has also has only just launched its Mario Kart line for Super Mario series at the beginning of this year. There's already speculation this massive set could be timed with the next major entry in the series, currently dubbed Mario Kart 9. Of course, this is all just rumor for now, so take everything here with a grain of salt. If we hear any significant updates or developments, we'll let you know. This excites me because from the moment I saw the Lego stuff, the Lego Mario Kart, the moment we saw it and it was like, yo, okay, this is happening. This is great. Then there was kind of a little wave of disappointment as it was tied to the Super Mario Brothers sets, because they're just not, they're more like a kid's playset, not like something to build and display. Well, if this is part of the Lego Icons, this would be fantastic. Something, if you guys have seen the Yoshi set or you've seen the NES, you've seen, I want to create Mario's Kart, like I want to sit and build the cart, and $170, that would be a pretty decent size set. I think the Mario and Yoshi that came out last year, I think that's going for like 160, right around there, or 130, one of the two. And again, something that takes some time. The Bowser that we got, that thing's crazy. Like, that's a lot of pieces as well. This is something I would love to sit down and build and get to become part of my Mario Kart shrine, because I mean, again, all things Mario Kart for me. I'm wearing my Rainbow Road Survivor shirt today. You guys know. I love me some Mario Kart. So fingers crossed. This rumor is true, and that we get a Lego Icon Mario Kart, because I would be ecstatic. Just so stoked. Well, last thing here, real quick before we jump into what we think is going to be happening with this February Direct. Metroid Prime first four figures Phazon suit has pre-orders starting soon. And I don't know if you guys have ever picked up any of the first four figures or gone and checked out their stuff. They've got some amazing Nintendo stuff. If you're a Metroid fan, if you're a Mario fan, if you're a Mario Kart fan, a Banjo, Animal Crossing, like, they have a lot. They have a lot. I didn't scratch the surface on the different games that they've supported, and this Phazon suit that they're showcasing, that's going to the pre-orders open on the 20th of February. It looks great. It looks so good. So I mean, these are not just like cheap little statues. Like, if you go and you look at the Mario stuff, one of their Mario sets is like, or not set, but like one of their Mario statues, I think it retails at $5.99. So these are definite like display pieces, and they look amazing. So if you are a Metroid fan, make sure to go check out first four figures, the new Samus Phazon suit that's going to be coming soon. Well, let's jump into the final topic, and I'm over on the Switch 2 subreddit, and they've got a screenshot from Gaming Leaks and Rumors, and basically we've got two leakers saying two different things. PH Brazil thinks the February Direct is still happening, and Nate the Hate is saying it's not going to happen. Chat, I do want to hear from you. Do you guys think we are getting a February Direct? Now, in the past, February Directs have been like, I think, I want to say, I don't have it up in front of me, but it's like something like all but one February during the life of the Switch, we didn't get a Direct. I think maybe one or two. So February Directs are very common. If I remember correct, this is where we would see like the sports titles announced and that kind of stuff. Because we are in a bit of a transition period going to Switch 2, I could see why they wouldn't. The Kirby Planet Robobot thing, that's where things get a bit interesting, because they could just shadow drop a game. Like, they could shadow drop it this week. February doesn't have a game from Nintendo, right? We had we had Donkey Kong in January, and we've got Xenoblade Chronicles X in March, but nothing in February right now. I know Nate in chat has sent me like a supposed leak of Metroid Prime 2 remastered, and believe me, everything inside of me wants that. You've got some people saying they don't think the Direct is going to happen because Nintendo wants everybody's focus on April. But we're talking like, if they did a Direct, it's going to have to be within the next 2 weeks, because the last week in February, you've got Pokemon Presents, right? Or Pokemon Day or whatever. And so it's got to be in these next 2 weeks. If it doesn't happen in these next 2 weeks, I'm saying there's no way. if it does happen, the games we could be looking at are Xenoblade Chronicles X, getting a little more, taking a bit more of a deep dive into that, even though it's a remake or a port. Of course, Kirby Planet Robobot, and looking at another 3DS remake, Metroid Prime 2, and then I don't know if there's. I think at this point, any third party is going to be talking Switch 2, probably not Switch 1 any longer. So maybe there's a handful of indies. Maybe the only thing that makes me think there's a potential direct is that you got Mario Day on the 10th. And so are they going to do a celebration of some kind on March 10th? And wouldn't they want to promote that through a direct? I would think that would be the case. Are they going to be like promoting any of the whatever they're going to be selling for Mario's not only is it Mario Day, but it's Super Mario Brothers 40th anniversary. So that's the other aspect of what this direct could focus on. The 40th anniversary of Mario plus Kirby plus Metroid plus Xenoblade. And then maybe there's some Nintendo Switch Online, because the direct can get, you could squeeze a lot into 40 minutes, especially if they do kind of like they did with the 35th anniversary, which was like, the Game & Watch and the 3D All-Stars and Mario 35 and all that they squeezed into that Bowser's Fury and 3D World. Like, there was a ton there. And so I also feel like without this February direct, they're going to be, how much are they going to put into this April direct? If we don't see a February direct, we do see the April direct. Does that then mean we're also going to see a June direct with more game focus? Like, it's a little bit tough to figure out right now how they're going to navigate all this, because obviously we always want more information. We always want to know what's coming out. We want to know what we can get excited for, what we're going to be playing on Switch and then potentially Switch 2. They don't want to hinder the momentum that Switch 2 currently has. But again, I don't know that there's anybody out there going, if I buy some new Switch games, I'm not going to buy the Switch 2. Like, I feel like if you've just you probably already decided if you're going to pick up the Switch 2, so it wouldn't really matter what is shown. It's probably just more you're going to add to your collection, right? So they could, I mean, of course, just drop Planet Robobot, and maybe Metroid Prime is not happening. There could also be a ton more information about Metroid Prime 4, but I do wonder if that's not going to get its own direct, just because it's, we're going back into a series that's been like something like 20 years or so, or 15 years or something since we've jumped back into the Prime series. So that might need its own direct, just to make sure that it's very clear what it is, and really get the promotion that it needs. So going back to the question early on, do I think there is a direct? I'm leaning towards yes. I think there's enough information out there, and Mario Day and the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, that it could happen. That being said, if you look back, due to the pandemic and everything, the Mario 35th technically got delayed from March to September. I don't know. It because of just everything packed into this year, it makes me wonder, like, I don't think we're going to see like a Game & Watch or like pieces of hardware that are not like Switch or Switch 2 related. I mean, maybe, but I kind of, unless they do the Game & Watch again and add more to it, it's just such an interesting time for for Nintendo and how they navigate into Switch 2. So I think there's a very real possibility the February Direct could happen. I'm completely okay with it happening. I would love some information on what we're going to see first party from Nintendo, maybe up through September or something along those lines. Even if it's just a couple of remakes. My biggest hope, honestly, if it were to happen, would to be have the Direct and have Metroid Prime 2 remastered out now, get it digitally, coming physically later, just like they did with the first one. And, you know, Kirby maybe comes out in April, and we get a little more information about 4, but maybe find out there's going to be a full-on Direct for it later, and we get to see it, in all of its glory on Switch 2, because maybe it's a cross-gen game, perhaps. And that's what I would love to see. And then of course a big celebration of Super Mario Brothers with the 40th anniversary, and just having a lot of fun celebrating that series and everything that it's done for Nintendo. And so maybe there's even I was gonna say maybe there's a chance for like a little teaser for the next movie, right? But they usually kind of save that stuff. Like Universal kind of seems to be the one that teases that a little bit more, or they'll say they're doing a Direct just for the movie with and they'll include the little tag underneath that says no information for the Switch 1 successor will be mentioned during this Direct. So we love that. We love that message from Nintendo, don't we? But overall, I'm leaning towards, just because Nate the Hate hasn't heard about something doesn't mean it can't still be happening. That's the way I look at it. Like, just because he hasn't heard about something, maybe PH Brazil, and again, it's just literally having to pick a team, more or less. Like, so just looking at Nintendo's track records for February Directs, I'm saying it's going to be pretty likely that it's happening, but I could be wrong. So love to hear from you guys on this. What do you hope to see? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments. We're going to have a little bit of a shorter episode today, which is okay. I appreciate all you guys being here live. Remember, it's at 3:30 Eastern on YouTube, and on Thursday, I'm going to be doing a birthday stream. It's going to be a lot of fun, just hanging out with you guys for a good portion of the day and probably into the evening. And on my birthday, I am going to be doing a 1-hour TikTok stream at 3 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be a TikTok spotlight. There's usually thousands of people that come through. It's kind of crazy. So if you want to experience that, we would love to have you join for that as well. And with that, guys, I will catch you in the next one. See you later. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.